of Iowa, President Kirk Johnson, Iowa Area Education Agency's Executive Director Tom Lane, Hoover Elementary School Principal Jess Berger from the West Branch Community School District, and Jess was also Iowa's Elementary Principal of the Year in 2016. You know, Iowa is proud to have the most extensive teacher leadership and compensation system in the nation. More than a quarter of our teachers in all 333 school districts serve in leadership roles like instructional coaches and mentors. Their responsibilities include analyzing student data related to progress learning to help kids read by the end of third grade, working with teachers to plan lessons and fine-tune and model instructional strategies and improve achievement. And we know that when principals understand how to support teacher leaders and all teachers, it leads to success. They're able to use the teacher leadership and compensation to inspire educators to accomplish their academic goals. And that's why I'm so pleased that the School Administrators of Iowa is launching a statewide initiative to coach more principals on how to facilitate the teacher leadership and compensation program. This is a remarkable tribute to focusing on the long-term sustainability, and it speaks to the value educators place on Iowa's teacher leadership and compensation system. The principal support program will build on the Iowa Department of Education's previous work with the New York City Leadership Academy. It will be implemented in partnership with our education department and Iowa area education agencies. So this is an exciting time for education in Iowa. And whenever we have the opportunity to travel across the state, I hear, the Lieutenant Governor and I hear from educators about how TLC is transforming teaching. We leave inspired when I see the passion and just the collaboration that's going on between the teachers and the principals and administrators within the school district. I've also heard firsthand from one of my daughters who is actually a teacher leader. She's seen the difference the great leadership by principals and teachers working together can make. So again, I commend the School Administrators of Iowa on its commitment that recognizes principals are central to making leadership happen. And without question, Iowa's $157 million a year investment in TLC is paying off. So now I'd like to turn the podium over to Lieutenant Governor Gregg, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the importance of principal training. Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you, Governor, and good morning. As the Governor noted, School Administrators of Iowa's Principal Support Program builds on work started by the Department of Education. The goal is to train school administrators on how to make the most of TLC. That work was launched more than 3 years ago with a little over $2 million in state funding. The funding allowed Iowa to build a comprehensive curriculum to train and support principals. They did this in collaboration with the area education agencies and the School Administrators of Iowa. When state funding was no longer available, School Administrators of Iowa stepped in and made it possible to train 27 principals this school year. Now, School Administrators of Iowa is doing even more. They're committing to expand training with workshops and one-on-one coaching for 100 principals next school year. Again, this will be done in partnership with the Education Department and the area education agencies. And this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Ryan Wise, the Director of the Department of Education, who will tell you more. Ryan.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Gregg. The TLC system changed the teaching profession in Iowa. Teaching has become a far more collaborative endeavor, with teachers sharing data and best practices, engaging regularly in high-quality professional learning, and taking more active roles in shaping the vision for their schools. As the teaching profession changed, so did the role of the administrator. Instead of being the sole instructional leader, principals now have a team of leaders with unique skill sets and abilities to utilize as they work to improve student achievement. For many principals, this is an entirely different approach to leadership. To help principals make the transition from individual leadership to distributed leadership, the department issued a request for proposal to select a vendor to design and deliver an administrator coaching and support program that would ensure principals were fully invested in and prepared to support teacher leadership. More than 3 years ago, the Iowa Department of Education announced this partnership with the New York City Leadership Academy to design a comprehensive year-long professional development program to ensure principals develop the skills and abilities to effectively utilize teacher leaders. Our focus in the design of the system was to create an approach and a curriculum that would be sustainable beyond any state appropriation. The New York City Leadership Academy was selected because they had both a track record of success in this area and because of their focus on creating a customized program that would be sustainable long after the contract ended. Today's announcement demonstrates that the process worked as designed. The department contracted with an experienced partner, built a foundation, and passed the torch to an Iowa-based organization with the experience necessary to sustain the work. The department will continue to partner with SAI and the AEAs by helping to coordinate and facilitate the Summer Support Institute, as well as helping coordinate the regional trainings with the area education agencies. In addition, we're exploring the possibility of using federal dollars that come through our state's Every Student Succeeds Act plan to further support this work. It's now my pleasure to turn the podium over to Kirk Johnson, the president for the School Administrators of Iowa.
Thank you, Governor Reynolds, Lieutenant Governor Gregg, Director Wise, and a special thank you to our Executive Director for SAI, Rourke Horn. I'm honored to represent the School Administrators of Iowa here today on behalf of educational leaders across this state. School Administrators of Iowa is engaged in comprehensive professional development and individualized coaching for school principals because we are committed to supporting, encouraging, and developing Iowa's educational leaders. Today's announcement of the statewide principal support program aligns with SAI's mission, our partnerships with the Iowa Department of Education, and the Iowa AEAs. As Governor Reynolds and Lieutenant Governor Gregg and Director Wise have indicated, the TLC system is transforming teaching and learning throughout our state. Central to furthering student achievement gains will be the ongoing development of school principals across the state. By developing enhanced learning opportunities for principals and coaching these principals in a manner that supports our TLC system, in addition to helping them align this work with their individual professional development plans, our school leaders will be empowered to be the principals that Iowa students need. SAI looks forward to working alongside Iowa principals in an effort to build their knowledge, develop applicable skills, and align teaching and leadership to make a difference in the lives of Iowa students. Now it is my pleasure to turn the podium over to Dr. Tom Lane, representing Iowa's AEAs.
On behalf of Iowa's area education agencies, I'm proud to stand today with Governor Reynolds, Lieutenant Governor Gregg, and our great education friends from School Administrators of Iowa and the Iowa Department of Education. 6 years of Wallace Foundation research identified the two most critical factors in a child's academic success. First is a great classroom teacher. But growth achieved in a single year with a great teacher needs to be repeated year after year. The second most critical factor from the Wallace research are the leadership skills of the building principal. It is the building principal who can attract great teachers to the building, nurture their professional growth, and build a community of learning. The AEAs will partner with School Administrators of Iowa to host half-day workshops designed to bring school principals and their teacher leadership teams together to create plans for implementing TLC and to build their annual professional learning. A two-day summer institute will be co-led by all three partners, DE, SAI, and the AEAs. Here, principals will design a yearly schedule to maximize student learning in their buildings. This is especially important because time focuses on building growth only. This is where we traditionally see the greatest growth, at the building level. Both the research and our own experiences indicate that great building leaders will create a culture of learning that allows for increased student learning. Finally, this opportunity illustrates AEA commitment to equity for all educators and students. While not every AEA region will host programming, it is made available to every principal and teacher leadership team in the state. To Governor Reynolds, I want to say thank you again for continuing to recognize the value of building great leadership teams in every school district. To our education partners, we're ready to join you in this exciting work. This time I'd like to present Jess Berger.
Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about my participation in the TLC Administrator Support Program this school year. This program has had a positive impact on our building's school improvement efforts. Our involvement helped increase the clarity, effectiveness, and sustainability of our work at Hoover Elementary. I'd like to offer some insights on the key components I feel set this program apart. The first component is the alignment of leadership standards to the work. School principal participants begin by learning about the New York City leadership standards and the accompanying performance planning document. Self-reflection on each standard occurs throughout the program and promotes important coaching conversations surrounding both strengths and areas of growth in our own leadership practices. The second key component is the training and collaborative support of the building leadership team from each participating school. Significant collaboration between teacher leaders and building principals takes place at the quarterly building leadership team workshops that Mr. Lane referred to. The training provided to the teams highlights a protocol for design of a school improvement plan. By establishing the current reality of teacher implementation and student achievement, goals are established that provide clarity and direction for the school's work. Action steps are outlined by the team and staff communication procedures are shaped. The final step of the protocol is to decide what data will be collected and regularly analyzed by teacher leaders and administrators in order to determine successes and necessary adjustments. The last and most important component of the program is the ongoing on-site coaching provided by an experienced mentor administrator. The added accountability of sharing progress and receiving feedback on school improvement efforts increases the sustainability of the work. In closing, research through the Wallace Foundation has established that a school's leadership is one of the most important factors contributing to student learning, as Mr. Lane had shared, second only to classroom instruction. The state of Iowa has demonstrated its commitment to the development of educational leadership by providing this professional learning opportunity for principals. I'd like to thank Governor Reynolds, the Iowa Department of Education, the Iowa Area Education Agencies, and school administrators of Iowa for their commitment to providing exceptional professional development to Iowa educators. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We'll open it up to comments on, or questions on this topic, please.
What was the amount of the state contract to the New York City Leadership?
I don't know.
It was a total of about $2.3 million. So $1 million in FY15, $1 million in FY16, and $300,000 in FY17.
So I just want to just thank all of the partners for really stepping up and really working together to understand the importance of making sure that we can prepare our principals and our administrators. So just thank you so much for stepping up and playing a role in making this happen in school districts all across the state of Iowa. Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah. Governor, there are reports circulating about Senate Majority Leader Bill Dix. Have you seen those reports and do you have a comment about those allegations?
Well, first of all, with what little I know, we've been in meetings all day. So with what little I know, I'm certainly disappointed in what I'm hearing. I don't know all of the facts. And so until I have an opportunity to, I'm hoping to meet with Leader Dix this afternoon and better understand what the facts are. But right now, we just found out about it before we came in.
What is the public have a right to know what public officials do in their private lives? Part of the job.
You know, I think, well, I think, you know, Iowans hold their elected officials to a high standard. You know, they expect us to lead, and I expect to lead. And so, but I want to know the facts. I'm extremely disappointed with what I'm hearing, but until I have an opportunity to hear the story, I'm not going to comment yet. I'm just.
This is a lobbyist who could be doing business for the legislature, for the leader.
Well, you know what? First of all, I don't know the facts. So I have to sit down and do what I can to learn what the facts are, and then we'll move forward from there. But it doesn't do anybody any good to start, weighing in and speculating on what I don't know yet. And so I hope to meet with him this afternoon. That will be my request so that I can understand what the facts are.
Is it possible to hear from you later after you look back?
Well, we'll consider that. Right now we're trying to get a meeting set up. So. Well, we're focused on, building a better Iowa. We're working on legislation that continues to move this state forward. I am so proud of the great things that we see happening in this state. And, I love traveling across the state and meeting with Iowans and talking about where we are. We just were rated by U.S. News and World Report as the #1 state in the country. And that was based on, over 70 metrics under 8 different categories, tens of thousands of data points. And so we have a lot of positive things. Education was one of the things that we were ranked on: education, healthcare, quality of life, opportunity, infrastructure. So we have a lot of great things going on, and we're going to continue to build on the momentum that we have. That's why we're talking about making sure Iowans get the skills to fill the jobs that are available today. We're talking about tax reform so we can pass on tax cuts. Iowans are opening up their paychecks and they're seeing more dollars in those paychecks, and we want to continue to pass those savings on. And so I'm optimistic and happy about the things that we're talking about. We've got water quality passed. We've been talking about that for 3 years. So we've got a lot of positive things happening, and we're going to continue to build on that momentum, and we'll deal with this later today.
Is this kind of personal misconduct impair someone's ability?
Kay, again, I don't know all the facts. And so I'm going to sit down with the leader later today. We have an obligations. Iowans expect us to lead. They do hold us to a higher standard, and we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard as well.
With the numbers that the revenue estimate came out with on Friday, is it possible that these mid-year budget cuts won't have to happen?
Well, I tell you what, first of all, it's, the numbers continue to increase. So that's good news. And I think that's a reflection that the economy is picking up. I think there's still probably likely to be some budget adjustments because we want to make sure that we have maybe a better ending balance. And with what I was able to put forward, I think with the adjustments, that leaves an ending balance of about 26 million. And so, we want to, and like when we put our recommendations forward, we really worked very hard to not only balance the state needs, but make sure that we did it with as little disruptions as possible. And so that's what we're going to continue to work on. But I think, I'm cautiously optimistic to see the numbers increasing and the economy growing. And I think that's, again, good news for Iowans and for Iowa. Okay, thank you. Oh.
There was a bill related to teaching, but an undid part of the education package that Governor Branstad signed says that students who graduate don't have to pass a test in order to become a teacher. I guess there have been something like 500 students who failed that test.
Yeah.
And as a result, they can't get a teaching. Is that something that you think is worthwhile, or are you afraid that would unravel them?
So where is that at in the process?
Pass the House.
But it's still going over to the Senate. So I think there's still an opportunity for people to weigh in on that. Okay, I probably should take a look at it. We put it in the TLC, the education reform package that we put together. So of course, when we did that, we thought there was real value in that. But we want to also be fair to the teachers and make sure that we give them time to maybe get the training and come back and take it again. So again, I think it's about finding balance, but I don't think it's unreasonable because we had supported it in the past. So I think it's something that, bears taking a look at, but I think that's also okay to be able to test and see where we're at.
Governor, I have a question separately. There's a bill moving through the legislature that would allow health insurance that doesn't follow the Obamacare rules completely.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some other states that are trying something like that. Idaho,
Mm-hmm.
for example, CMS stepped in last week and said no.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what you think about that, and whether Iowa's approach is different, and
Mhm.
if there's a real shot that it could advance in a way that other states?
Well, I made it pretty clear in the condition of the state that, as I travel across the state and I meet with Iowans, these small business owners, farmers, families that are trying to make ends meet that can't afford a 57% increase in their premiums, they have no alternative, and we need to do what we can to provide them some type of affordable health care. And I said that Congress still has a responsibility to get this done. They need to fix it. They created it. They need to fix it, but I can't wait on them to do it. And so I applaud the legislature working with our office to figure out some kind of resolution for Iowans who are trying to make ends meet and make sure that they have some kind of a health insurance that they can actually utilize. We had a robust system prior to Obamacare. We had 9 carriers in the system. We had high participation rate, low premiums. Now we're down to 1 carrier. The cost is escalating. We have people pulling out of the market, and it's unacceptable. But I hear real life stories about, health insurance that's, half of their income, people making $57,000 a year, paying $33,000 in premiums. That's crazy. They can't afford it. And so they're either living without insurance or trying to figure out how they can, get some type of health care. And so I commend the legislature for working to find some kind of a solution for Iowans and small business owners and farmers who are struggling with the existing system. Thank you.